Sorry being up here. Can you hear me? Yeah? Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Thanks, Ed. Okay. So for many years, I was desperately unhappy with myself and my life, and I was rather partial to a drink or two. Red wine, cider, generally my drinks of choice. I drank a lot of them, an awful lot. I drink when I was happy, drink when I was sad, drink when I was angry, relaxed, stressed, with friends, on my own, drinking for pleasure, drinking to block out the pain. Whatever, I could always find a reason to have a drink. Always drinking to get drunk, normally to get very drunk. I knew that what I was doing was really bad and bad for me, but I never really allowed myself to talk about that, to articulate what I knew the problem really was and what I really was. This drinking led me to some really dark places. I went to parties with people I didn't know. I do know these ladies in this picture. I woke up in places I didn't recognize, and I did things that I would never do when I was sober. Frequently blacked out, lost memories of what I did and said. I spent too many nights sat alone, smoking, drinking, hating myself more and more, drinking more, a cycle of self-loathing and self-destruction. And I thought this was how I relaxed. And I got to be so used to the train wreck of this person that I was, and I think so did everyone else around me, that no one really questioned it. This was just who I was. In my head, there was this version of me that wasn't like this at all. This was Fantasy Esther. Fantasy Esther was the exact opposite. And in 2013, I hit a bit of a wall emotionally. I had job insecurities, a new job, family health worries, and a very messy and acrimonious breakup with my ex. My ability to cope just eroded with every day, and I reached a point where I really needed help. I think I had a nervous breakdown. I gave up my job, and I fell apart. And during this falling apart, I found my salvation. And my love of yoga led me to an intense yoga course, which changed my life completely. Through this course, I noticed significant improvements in my life. The most significant being that in October of last year, I stopped drinking, I stopped smoking, and I haven't looked back. It's been 9 months, over 9 months now, and I'm now happier than I've ever been before, and I find life less scary and less stressful. I've thought quite a lot about alcoholism and the very close link between alcoholism and mental illness since then. There are a lot of people with similar problems to me in this country, and there's an awful lot, as you can see from the statistics. That's a lot of people hiding behind alcohol. These people don't drink because that way of living is fun. They're drinking because there's a problem. There's a reason why people drink that way. Society tells us that drinking is perfectly acceptable. It's a way to celebrate. It's a way to socialize. It's a way to commiserate. It's what we do. It's ingrained in our culture. But at the same time, there are huge stigmas around mental illness. And we've got an easy access to a legal way to block out our problems. So is it any wonder that we have large numbers of people with drinking problems? And how much are these statistics going to increase before we do something about it? I never chose to become an alcoholic or a dependent drinker, whatever the term is. It just happened. I didn't know it was going to happen, and I didn't realize it was happening until it was too late and I was in its grip. I drank because drinking hid my self-respect from me, my lack of self-respect, while eroding it further and further. It gave me the illusion of happiness while destroying my chance of happiness. It told me I could pretend to be everything I wanted to be while taking me further and further away from it with every drop. I don't think anyone chooses to become addicted to alcohol or any other substance. It's something that happens while generally you are trying to hide possibly from that fear, that inability to be present in your own life. I completely identify with that phrase. Society treats addicts as though they have made a clear decision to live a life controlled by a substance and judges very harshly. As individuals, though, we can choose to be more empathetic, more supportive, and more loving. If you know someone who is suffering like this, reach out to them, tell them you care, find ways to support them and show them that you love them. They might feel that they are utterly unlovable. Show them the value that they bring to your life. People need to know that they're not alone and that you don't need to be alone to help them. You can seek help from these organisations and others like them. There are plenty of people out there that can help you and help you to help the people you love. And I think that's going to finish now. Thank you very much.